Hi, I'm Donna Pelt, and a lot of my friends are interested in how I've been wrapping stones with wire to create jewelry. So this is just a quick tutorial for my friends to learn. Um, these are the tools that you'll need. They're tools that you could get at AC Moore. You don't have to get expensive ones. First, there's blunt nose pliers. That's for squeezing off ends and just holding things. That's very helpful. These are needle nose pliers, just for making circles, for making spirals. Here's just a wire cutters. Just, it's probably finer than the kind that you would get at a hardware store, so I recommend that. This is optional. This is for making your bails at the top of your jewelry. It's helpful, not necessary. The kind of wire I recommend is the one that comes on spools because it's a lot easier to work with. I like 18. It's probably the heaviest you want to work with. 20 is a little bit easier. Even 18, you could double the wires. You could go as small as 24. You notice as the numbers get bigger, the wire's getting smaller. This is a pain in the neck to work with because it gets all tangled. So go for the one on the spools if you're going to do very many at all. Okay, so I'm going to use 18. This is my stone. I'm going to be using a flat stone. So 18 is good, because it's a little bit heavier wire and it will be a little bit more significant, I would say. What I do is I always start by using my needle nose pliers. I start by just making a circle, and that will just finish the end off. And all I'm doing is turning my wrist. So I'm starting with this. Now, if I want to continue to make a circle or a spiral, I just hold on to that. And you can see I'm not pulling it real tight. I can make kind of a spiral that way, and I'm just doing it by feel. It's not, each one will be a little bit different. It's not an exact science. The tighter you pull, the tighter your circle will be. I want to have a little bit of an open circle because I'm going to be using this rock, this stone. So I think what I'm going to do in this case is I want this to be kind of my central embellishment. But since I have so much room to work with, I'm going to take my needle nose pliers and I'm going to make a crimp. It looks almost like a safety pin, doesn't it? And that will just add interest. And you can see I can hold it that way. I can hold it. Actually, I think it looks pretty that way. So I'm going to start with this design, and I'm just going to wrap the wire around until I can see exactly how wide the stone is going to be. I'm going to take it off the stone for a second and just pull that wire down. It's kind of helpful to have your wire wrapping around and up and down because that will make it more secure. So now I'm going to put it back on. And you can see I kind of have a start. I'm kind of thinking this might be interesting if I just push it up. So you can see, you start with an idea and you just let the rock tell you what it wants. So I'm going to pull this down now to come up, and I'm going to create my bail. So in the back, I've crisscrossed. In the front, I'm pulling that up, and I'm getting ready to create my bail. Now, this is a nice secret to do at this point, so that I kind of like that design. I think it's pretty. I might curl it a little bit more, but it's a good start. But because I like that and I want it to stay, I'm going to take my needle nose pliers again, and I'm going to just grasp this part that goes around, and I'm going to just give it a little tighten. So now that's not going to go anywhere. I can still play with this a little bit, but this guy is straight. So the next step, I'll do it with, if I were going to do it with the baler, the baling tool, I would hold it like this and pull it around, but since you might not want to invest in that, I'm going to just do it with my needle nose pliers. I'm going to just pull this around, just moving it down as I go, and I'm just creating where you'll put your necklace through. So once I have that, I'm going to just make a loop, and you want to make your loop so that you're right at the top of your stone. So I have it pretty tight back here, and if I need to tighten it a little bit more, I could just take that needle nose pliers and do that again, but I'm not going to do that until the end. Now this is where your blunt nose pliers comes in. You can use that to straighten. This is just an all-purpose tool that will really come in handy, whether you're trying to hold something in place, whether you want to squeeze the end. You don't want to leave your jewelry with anything that has an end that's going to scratch people. So I have just a little bit extra, so to have less to work with, I'm going to just use my wire cutters, and I'm going to just cut that end off. And now I'm going to use my needle nose pliers to again make a circle. It's easy to just gonna, and now this one, because it's at the top, I want this to be my focal point, so I want this bit to be just auxiliary, so I'm going to just take this and I'm going to make this one tighter. So I'm just gonna, you just hold it tight and you just keep, see, I'm pulling this one a little tighter than I pulled the other one, so that I'm just having a real tight little circle that will allow the other one to be really my focal point. Just gonna come up a little bit more. So he's really just an auxiliary. And see, you can see how flexible this is. Now those guys are a little bit close together, so I can pull this guy down. And I think I'm going to tighten this one just a little bit more. But you can see how having this come in the front just kind of solidifies that back part, so that your stone won't be slipping out of your wire. So you can see this is just a fidgety kind of little thing, but you could play with it, and that's the fun part, because you can make it, just keep fiddling with it till it's just exactly what you'd like. So let each rock talk to you. Tell it, does it want oblong, does it want rectangles, does it want triangles, and all you have to do is use this to change your angle, to change your design, and play with it until it just looks right for you.